seriousness is never synonymous with a feeling, nor some form of a quibble. There is no threats to life due to the protesters in any way, and there is no threat to the sovereignty of our nation due to the protesters in any way. There is no justification for the Emergency Act to be put into place. The amount of accountability Trudeau put into his Emergency Act is the same amount of accountability he puts into fucking anything. He's incredibly criminal. He is a threat to Canada's sovereignty. He's forcing us to take a treatment. That is a threat to our sovereignty. That is an act of war. That is a armed conflict, is what it is. If you don't take that vaccine, they will force you to take that vaccine. That's an armed conflict. He's actually enacting actual war on Canada. He tries to change the definitions of words all the time. Marriage, what adultery counts as for adoption, fucking him, her. He's got no rights to do any of those things. He completely acts with complete unaccountability. And he's trying to force us to get jabbed. Like, it's obvious that he's a treasonous asshole. Right from the start. Right from the get-go. Everything he's ever done has been treason to begin with. But he enacts an emergency act as if there's a war conflict going on when he is that war conflict. It is crazy that we get no accountability from our Prime Minister, from our government, from our police. We get nothing. He's at war with our country, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's fucked. If someone claims, oh, you know what, I don't feel safe, but are you seriously in danger? Because if you're not seriously in danger, it doesn't matter to anyone legally. The government doesn't have the right to make you do anything. That's a threat to the sovereignty of Canada for them to do so. Trudeau is a monster. Now, when we run out of petrol, perversion is going to be the only reason people die. It's going to be the cause of every conflict that results in death. That's not like an idiot who was poorly raised and poorly trained and not part of his adulterous community that breaks their legs or dies in a car crash. It's not going to be about taxes being so depressing that old people, when they're laying in bed, when they're 80 years old, don't want to get up and exercise because they hate Trudeau and they hate the Conservatives so much they can't motivate themselves out of bed. That's not going to be a problem anymore. People are going to die because of adultery exclusively. It's going to be fucking retarded. When you put Baal Peor up on top of the throne instead of having Beelzebub manage everything and just let the entire country run into a state of destitution, Trudeau is literally, at this point, the #1 cause of every single death that takes place in the world post-petrol. What are we supposed to do? We can't talk to a single one of our ministers. We can't talk to our military. We can't talk to our crown. We can't even talk to the embassy consulates about all of the different problems that we have in our country so we can try and get UN representation. There's no way we can respond to Parliament Hill whenever they have a talk. We've got no way to communicate with anyone that has any influence or capacity to even approach our problem from a legislative and legal standpoint. They've completely taken away the sovereignty of our nation, and they're attacking our sovereignty actively now that they got it in a bottle and they're just like beating the shit out of it like a ship in a bottle, waving it around. It's terrible. Trudeau is such a criminal piece of crap.